Hi there. My YouTube channel just got remonetized for the first time since early September, which means my videos will start getting boosted again in the algorithm. So I'm making this schedule update video to explain what happened and all the work I'm going to get done now in the holiday break. Things were looking pretty bad at first because, well, I was really busy in December due to the end of semester rush at work, but I was looking forward to Christmas break, as Christmas break is going to start and I'm going to have a lot of free time to catch up on all my YouTube projects. And that's when a lot of content creators catch up on long-term stuff during holiday breaks. Then, literally the first day of the break, and because Christmas is on a Monday, this was Saturday, I wake up first day of the break and discover I've caught a cold and my voice isn't in a condition to record. And this left me terrified that I would be sick for a full month, not just a light cold, but I'm going to be having a heavy cold for a full month, because this is what happened last winter break. That because last winter was the first post-pandemic lockdown situation where everyone was out and about, they were all sharing their regular germs again. So, not just me, I talked to my doctor and other people that this objectively was a very heavy cold season. I didn't get the flu or anything, but I caught, it must have been bronchitis or something, really bad beginning of winter break. Shot December and January for me, really took a lot out of me. I could barely talk, much less record. And I got 2 subsequent colds after that lasted like a month, which weren't as bad, but I said, from Christmas until first day of April, I really could not make videos for my channel at all. It completely wiped me out. My channel went cold for 3 months. And thankfully that was a news dead zone at the time, because after season 1 they were discussing future phases and seasons. I've said, had there been real news coming out then, my channel would have really been hurt. Thankfully it was an off season, but there's still a lot of stuff I couldn't even research things like listening to all the interview podcasts by the behind the scenes crew and the cast and stuff. I lost a full 3 months I'm still trying to catch up on now because of the ripple effect of, for the rest of the year I was busy covering the active filming season. I still haven't gone through all the season 1 interviews. So, point is, Saturday before Christmas, first day of break, I wake up and I go, oh god, I'm going to be sick for a full month again with a heavy chest cold and unable to talk. And I go, well, at least I can finally do all that paperwork I needed to do. That is to say, all the work I needed to do fixing up my channel to get it remonetized, revamping the channel to remove anything that would get it in trouble again. Explaining this, last time they asked for a video clip, and you would quickly explain, this is what my channel is, notice how I fixed it, and they'd get back to you in a day or two. But because I'm reapplying 3 months later, it's a different setup, I was surprised, instead of getting back, saying same day getting back to you, there was just a single text thing on screen that said, we've received your submission, you might hear back from us in 30 days. So by Sunday, looking forward to Christmas on Monday, I'm terrified that I'll be too sick to record audio for a month, and that I won't even hear back about the possibility of remonetization. And again, the money doesn't matter, it's that it boosts you in the algorithm. I'm not even going to hear about that for a month. And not just any month, the month. Christmas break month, holiday break month, when it matters most, that this is the catch-up month when I could be getting more done. So this is a terrible sinking feeling that just at the last minute, I lost my catch-up month. I'm not going to get remonetized for a full month. I thought it'd be quicker than that. Then suddenly I wake up Monday, Christmas morning, and my cold had broke. Obviously, I still sound a little scratchy now, but just really fast. I got better in one night. Where you were at the beginning of a cold and you go, this could either be a month of bronchitis or I could suddenly get better. This time I got better. And I felt better with that. And I was just, wow, I'm actually not going to lose a month worth of recording time. And then we have our, family Christmas morning stuff. I did that at our various houses. And then as I'm heading in the car to lunch, as I get out of the car, I look down at my iPhone updates, and after only 2 days, the remonetization went through. I thought I'd have to fight for a couple of these videos that are more documentary things where I had spliced some things together so you could argue, well, it's not auto-generated, but mere 2 days, it went from 2 days before I was afraid I was too sick to talk for a month and wouldn't get remonetized for a month to my cold broke, I'm fine, and wow, I'm remonetized for the first time since September. Well, it's 3 months, it wore off in November, but by then we were really busy, and then the teaser cap, and I didn't have time to deal with sitting down and revamping my channel. I just kept putting it off for the next 6 weeks, so here it is, Christmas break, I was dealing with it. I'm officially back in the saddle, my channel is remonetized, which means YouTube will boost it in the algorithm more. The money doesn't really matter to me. It would matter because you don't make that much anyway. What matters is they're going to actually start circulating the damn things again. That since early September, this has been demoralizing, and I've just been chugging along. The money doesn't matter. It's that they're not boosting. It's weird. Like the daily filming leak things that would get 2,000 views or so before the demonetization, we're still getting around 2,000. I didn't see my views drop. But I think the thing is that they would have grown as we were getting more leaks in November, in like October, November, that I should have been getting more, particularly after the teaser came out. It's not that I lost views because my subscribers still come back, but it hinders growth, I guess. I don't know. So this demonetization fiasco, nightmare saga, which began in early September, is finally done. What happened? For those of you who didn't see already, new section here. I made a video explaining this back in late September, belatedly, only belatedly to realize what was going on. This video I'll link at the end called We Are Losing the AI War. That the big thing is YouTube did a terrible job of explaining this, and I'm not the only one. I've seen other major channels going, I got demonetized because they didn't clearly explain what they were doing. They pop up and go, you'll be demonetized unless you fix your channel. Fix it for what? I'm okay on copyright strikes. Don't explain it well, people get demonetized, it's a whole thing. What happened is, in maybe just the past year and a half, AI tools have exploded. And auto-generated content, I didn't even hear the term ChatGPT or other stuff until like a year or two ago on South Park, but it's not just the text ChatGPT, it's also video editors and voice synthesizers. That you can have ChatGPT based on because we auto-generate transcripts or subtitles. There are people using ChatGPT to make scripts and then good quality voice synthesizers to read them off. They're purely auto-generated. And then have auto-generated visual imagery. So, not for me, because I'm not that big of a channel, but like, where it becomes an economy of scale for bigger channels where you could actually make money off of a knockoff, anyone with over 1 million subscribers, you're seeing these AI clone copycat channels, like Quinn's ideas. Quinn has really been yelling about this, or it freaked him out on Twitter and everything, that he's a big Dune channel. He's also covered some Song of Ice and Fire stuff before. There's like this copycat channel that it's if you put through chat, one of those, you've seen when they have AI generated artwork, but it's through clips of Dune imagery, that they must have fed all of the transcripts of his videos into this, because it spouts off auto-generated text, and dear God, the voice synthesizer even sounds similar to his voice inflections, because they used a really good one as opposed to just a generic one. I don't know how the hell they did that, and this is a bigger problem, like bigger franchises like Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, and so forth. And just 2 years ago, this wasn't a thing. That we are, when I say clickbaiters, I mean people who are self-consciously doing stuff for attention. This is different. And you know this when you do YouTube search for House of the Dragon news and on the YouTube tools, limit it to news within the past day or the past week. You've learned to skip over channels which are blatantly auto-generated. And at first I thought they were clickbaiters. Some of these are auto-generated, and even some news sites are toying with auto-generated text content, which is terrible. Like I saw this whole thing at IO9 for Gizmodo, it was an inaccurate article about Star Wars or something, that there were errors in it, and the writers are really complaining that this isn't up to the level where it can make good news content. It isn't a replacement. The problem is that people owning these companies have convinced themselves we can do that as a threat to the writers. All the stuff that came up with the writers' strike this year in Hollywood as well, that this isn't a good replacement, but they want to think it is for real writing and real journalism. That I don't think like WatchMojo and Screen Junkies are using AI generated video content. I think they're just racing stuff off, but how would we know the difference between a poorly written slapdash thing and some of these things? You can tell they're auto-generated because, like, you can't do this in a soundbite, but if you listen to them for 10 minutes, you realize the syntax is a little off. Or another big thing is they'll read out acronyms letter by letter. I've noticed that no one, okay, House of the Dragon, everyone calls Hot D. No one says HOTD. Or like NATO, they'll say NATO. Like acronyms is a thing that AI for some reason stumbles over. But this has been a huge problem that caught us all by surprise, and YouTube, the higher ups, are legitimately upset about that. I want them to do more to hammer these bastards. But because they got taken by surprise, their response was very ham-fisted. And they didn't really know how to respond, so they just said, alright, anything that could resemble auto-generated content we have to take down, because content which could plausibly be auto-generated includes clips and montages. That AI, and it's not smart AI, it's dumb AI that can do million things really fast without thought, which is worse, can just search Google video search for George R. R. Martin interviews, take random minute clips from it, and post them as videos. One clip is easy to make. Montages aren't that much difficult to make. And the golden rule on YouTube before, with copyright strikes, this isn't about copyright, it's about auto-generated content, is the way we get around that is when you use short clips or short clips in a montage of other clips, that counts as transformative. And we'd have to argue through fair use, I'm at least allowed to keep this up even if I don't get money from it. I don't care about the money. I want to show this clip of different interview things someone said. So it fooled, not just, I feel that, I feel stupid for this, but it happened to a lot of other channels too, that they go, I'm not going to take down videos I survived a copyright strike over, that I successfully fought and got removed. It isn't about copyright. Even legitimate montages can survive a copyright claim. They can't survive an auto-generated claim because YouTube is so understaffed and overwhelmed. They said we don't have time to check everything. Not just me, like big channels, like what really stunned me was 2 weeks ago, Secrets of Dune. One of the maybe top 5 Dune channels on YouTube, along with Quinn's Ideas, got demonetized. And they did the same thing, where they got the message, they said, fix your channel or we're going to demonetize you for 3 months. And they said, what is there to demonetize? We're okay with copyright. We're not even YouTube doesn't have time to have a representative come to everyone. And they're doing this really fast. And then I pointed out to Secrets of Dune over Twitter, like after they were complaining, I got demonetized. In your top 8 videos by popularity, you have a minute-long clip of the Sardaukar chant. There's no way that would survive the auto-generated thing, which I've already been living with for 2 months. So I went, oh, because they thought it was a copy. It's not copyright. And the darndest thing is, YouTube avoided saying stuff that could be auto-generated. That would have made this so much clearer. Not just for me, but for Secrets of Dune and other channels, we're all talking about this. Why didn't you just come out and say that? And the running guess is they thought it would encourage us to look up AI content. I know what AI auto-generated content is. You've done such a bad job fighting it that I have to wade through it every day that I wake up and search YouTube for new House of the Dragon content. I check to see what is everyone else making. Or is there news popping up? Not just for my subscriptions, but for anything. We know what it is because they're out competing us. We're losing. And you didn't clearly spell out for fear that we'd copy them? That isn't a thing. But that I'm not the only one saying this. Why didn't you clarify what the problem is? We would have dealt with this so much easier. At least all of this happened in the off season as opposed to like an active airing season when this would have really hurt my channel, but it was frustrating. Now here's the thing. This is the core of it. Because they don't have time to deal with everything under heavy scrutiny, and they do say, we look at your top performing videos. It's not like I have like 500 videos, 600 videos before this. And I said maybe 20 have clips and maybe 5, under 5, are really long montages from like that documentary showing they really said this shit behind the scenes on their things. They don't go by number of videos that have copyright. You could have 490 videos that are just you talking and 10 that are clips. But if those 10 that are clips are the ones getting most of your views, they don't go by raw number of videos. They're going by popularity. So when you look at the front page of my YouTube channel, when you click on the, instead of latest videos tab, you click on the popularity thing for the most views on videos. That's what they do. They look at maybe the top 8 to 12 videos you have. Except you can't see this on yours, so let me show you on the chart here. What are we, about 60 minutes into this? That on my YouTube analytics page, I can actually cross-reference and show views received in the past 365 days. So if I have a video that has 10,000 views in the past 4 years since I posted it in Season 8 of Game of Thrones, but it's only gotten 500 views in the past year to date, that's not really what they're looking at. So it'll show just the views that one video got year to date, but for all of your videos. So you can cross-reference views that all of my videos have received in just the past 365 days, then sorted by popularity. So raw total view count for the past year to date, from this December to last December, when I plug this in here. This should have been obvious. I didn't know what they were talking about. Turns out that one short video clip I made of the Season 8 table read, which is less than 3 minutes long, made up a full 60% of my total viewership in the past year. And I wasn't paying attention. I knew it was doing well. I wasn't looking at it. But 60%? Granted, in the off-season, what happened was, I remember, I posted that in 2019. I remember right before House of the Dragon Season 1, it had maybe 60,000 views, and because Season 1 got Game of Thrones topics trending again, it just, because it's short and people were intent on watching, this is what the table read was like, this one rare window we got into what it was like behind the scenes, and they weren't happy. Just looking at their nonverbal reactions, and they're not going to speak up against them. You can tell they're hesitant to talk, they're really worried. Conleth Hill reacting to it, Kit Harington being upset, and just the awkward pauses where then they pretend to clap, and you can tell this isn't spontaneous. You're eyeing the showrunners. It just really started trending, and it went from 60,000 views to, right before I deleted it right now, it was about 1.6 million views. So, I don't know, going from December to December, obviously Season 1 ended in late October, so this is purely in the off-season, probably more than that. Year to date, this got well over 1 million views, and was 60% of my viewership in the off-season. Now, obviously, if you rekajigger the analytics to go, what were my top videos during the run of Season 1, it would be the episode reviews, but this thing just kept going. And I'm not too hesitant to delete it, because you can even, there's a tool that says how many subscribers, people who watched this subscribed. It actually didn't increase my subscriber count as much as I thought it did. Like, people would watch it, then leave, and I thought, well, people watch it and stick around for other stuff. They really didn't. So, I'm annoyed YouTube didn't explain this well, but that was the clear problem. 60% of my viewership was due to one clip, which an AI could have easily cut out of something. So what I did last week was, I revamped my channel by taking down videos which would be problematic like that. Case in point, sadly, the big hour-long supercut I made of Histories and Lore videos about Robert's Rebellion. Because I didn't just slap them together, 10 of them in order. I intercut them chronologically, because you have one from Tywin's point of view, one from Ned Stark's point of view, that rather than run those back to back, I'd intercut not Ned, but Robb Stark talking about the beginning of the war, then Tywin talking about the beginning of the war, then Robb talking about the middle, then Tywin talking about the middle. So I intercut them chronologically, and a lot of work went into that to edit it. YouTube won't take the time to distinguish that, because they're not going to have someone sit down for a full hour to subtly judge, no, this isn't something an AI did. It already went through the copyright process where I said, this is enough work went into making this montage that I don't make money from it. I made it to show to people as a promo. It passed the copyright test years ago. They don't have the time to distinguish, did a computer randomly intercut stuff that, again, you can't reduce it to sound bites. Every music video montage, every supercut of the best moments from the recent Marvel season or Star Wars. Did thought go into this, or is it just a computer Googled it and took the top 10 results and intermixed them? It's subtle, it takes judgment, and it takes time that YouTube administration doesn't have. So I had to take some things down, but not nearly as many as I thought I would. Like, the big one is I was really terrified to have to take down that The Last Watch and The Last Word thing, where it isn't just the documentary. It's 40 minutes out of a 2-hour thing, maybe 30 minutes from it, but then intercut with 10 minutes of other interviews where you see, like, they really don't know what they're doing. And just out of context, muting off the sound, they tried to play happy music in it, that this was a nightmare behind the scenes, and the interviews where they laugh about how unqualified they are. And I'm pretty proud of that, and it's even, I don't want to take it down because some of these things I could remake, but the trick is they go, moving forward, if I ever post DVD commentaries, I have to intercut them with my own voice to show I'm not a robot. Just automatically intercutting clips of things. And with that Last Watch thing, I would run title cards. I think it's like one of those, in my head was one of those addiction behind-the-scenes things for an intervention. Well, you've seen those on MTV and stuff where they don't have a voiceover, they just have black and white title cards and they go, 2 weeks into rehab. He came back. That was the style. I thought it had more impact for people where just every 10 minutes I'd rarely make a comment, this isn't how screenwriting works. Or I'd put subtitles in going, notice that he's contradicting himself, because what they were saying was so ridiculous I wanted it to speak for itself more often than not. But it turns out I didn't have to take that down, which is great. I used it as the cover video for my thing, and the big thing is, while I could have taken that down and slightly re-edited it with reading off in my own voice those title cards, I didn't want to lose any of the comment sections because I posted that, a month after the Season 8 finale. While I could remake it now, it's a monument, it's a legacy of this snapshot of how awful we all felt 1 month after the finale will never go away. That I wanted to have this snapshot of how we all felt. It is something I can't recreate, you see. Similarly, another thing I thought I had to take down, but I didn't, is the first day that the World Health Organization declared a pandemic in March 12th of 2020, I really quickly put together a clip of the old miniseries adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand. And I wasn't trying to be funny, it's just I was terrified, and I just didn't, this is how I'm feeling now. I didn't mean it as a joke, I meant it as I'm scared. And just reading the comments section in that thing from other people late March of 2020 and how terrified we were, and the comments we were making of semi-sarcastically going, well, Ka is a wheel, see you on the other side, sigh. It's from The Gunslinger. But little things like, I could remake that, following their guidelines with it, me doing a voice introduction or something. But what I care about is the comments section. I don't care about the money. They're demonetized. It was never about keeping them up to get money. They're demonetized. Some of these things I wanted to keep up for that purpose. Another one, I'm only going to list off the top 3, was, remember when they didn't have an inside the episode for the final episode 6? And then we found out they basically did film interviews for it. You could tell they were intended for that. They recut them and interspersed them and put them out in the Blu-ray, intercut with what the crew members are doing. And I said, I took the 10 minutes worth of Benioff and Weiss talking, which, because they're in the same building and wearing the same clothes, you can tell they were intended to be the inside the episode. I recut them back together, and it's gibberish. It's them claiming, oh, book 5 wasn't finished until a year after it was actually published, and you can tell they're lying. And going, we thought this was an ending that was cool. Like, you mean you're not following an outline? All that ridiculous stuff that, while I could recreate that now by intercutting it with my voice introductions, I want that snapshot of how we all felt seeing it the first time in December of 2019 in the comments section. Because it helps prove your sanity that it's not just me reacting to it this way. Other people saw this and are saying, dear God, he sounds like an idiot. Or more, I feel better. I don't look forward as much to when I say things as when people in the comments are going, this is my sanity, that, wow, what he's saying makes no sense, it is contradicting himself. Means so much to me, and I hope to all of you, that you're seeing other third parties saying these things in the comments. So I really, really didn't want to have to remake those, and thankfully I didn't. Because it's supposed to be a snapshot of how we felt in the 2 weeks after the Season 8 finale aired, or after we got the Season 8 Blu-rays, that I can never recreate those comment sections. Yeah, even copy-pasting it, it's not the same. So I didn't have to take down nearly as many videos as I thought, things that were straight up like, we can't load histories and lore videos again. Maybe if we had video commentary on them, a little, but just a straight up montage like that. I had to take it. Could I? It's a full hour of video content, even if I just came on in the beginning and said, hi, this is me doing this. It would at best be 5. You can do a running commentary. I've seen people actually reviewing the histories and lore. I don't think I could do that again in the same format, and it ran its course also, because not that many people were watching it compared to before. I'm also surprised that a lot of the standalone clips I had of embarrassing things they say in the Blu-ray commentaries from Seasons 8 and Season 5 are thankfully still up, because they didn't get that many views since 2019. The big thing was that clip of the table read was a full 60% of the views my channel got in the past year to date. And I was also unhappy because you can tell from the analytics, people who watched that really didn't stick around for my other content, weren't subscribing. So it wasn't really the gain I thought it was. You can see, there's other channels that have those clips up, and on top of everything, let me reiterate, you aren't losing that clip of the table read, because it's a standalone clip I made from my report on the Last Watch documentary. The full 40-minute thing I have on the Last Watch and the Last Word, where it's samples of the documentary intercut with other interviews. If you want to, for your own amusement and pain, rewatch the table read, it's like 15 minutes into my video on the Last Watch and the Last Word. I took it out of a longer video. But because it's part of that montage, which, while not having my voice, has title cards in it showing that I'm not a robot, at least. I guess that's why they permitted it. You can still see the table read stuff. It's part of a longer video now, though. The standalone was, it triggered the anti-AI stuff, that this could have been auto-generated, therefore we have to get rid of it. So, this worked out better than I thought. I thought I'd have to take down a lot more content. I should have gotten to this before the teaser. I was just too busy, but better than I thought it would be. I thought, for a while there, I thought this would be a month-long fight. And why do I still leave these things up, like the Season 8 Blu-ray clips? Those are for research purposes for other channels. Also because no one bothered reporting on them. Like, I know, for example, Glidus, for his piss take videos about Season 8, I have specifically, he's asked me, and I've specifically sent him through DMs, oh, check out this video I posted publicly if this is something they really said in the Blu-rays about the Battle of the Bastards, or about Season 6 things, or others. So I know he's actively using those for other stuff he's working on. Other channels like that have check out, they really said this shit. So, I mean, they're not getting a lot of views, but the purpose of having them out there is to share them with other content creators who will probably use them better than I can. Because I'm just a researcher. So that's what happened. I'm amazed. So I had, you guys have all seen the histories and lore by this point. The last ones came out. To be honest, the season 8 ones were crap. So the last good ones came out in 2017. Was the last good set that had the thing about the War of Conquest. So, that's going on 6, 7 years ago almost. We had good histories. So you've all probably downloaded them if you're going to download them, or it was me intercutting it chronologically better. But that I told everyone through the community tab, download this if you want to keep it. I have to take it down for copyright reasons. Not really copyright, but for the auto-generate. It triggers the auto-generated stuff. And like those really short clips of those major things like the table read. And I have to keep an eye on that if something's just a standalone clip without my voice in it, and it goes to be like 30% of my viewership. But that's old content. Moving forward, I will never post standalone stuff. I will post like a DVD clip of a commentary, but I'll introduce it with my own voice. Like another clip I have is like, what you're supposed to do is something I did. I had this combined video where I talked about Benioff and Weiss micromanaging the cast and crew, where I would intercut commentary clips with me contextualizing it. That's an example of the way you're supposed to do it to show this isn't auto-generated. So it's actually like 3 things talking about they micromanage the actors, the directors, the cinematography. This isn't how you're supposed to do this. They weren't listening. You will still see clips from things, it's just I need to introduce them. Or like if I find something really interesting from podcasts that the House of the Dragon people did, I don't really need to give those as clips, because I'll read them off as quotes if it's something like something really interesting Emily Carey said or something. You needed to hear Benioff, Weiss, and Cogman saying those things in their own voices as proof that they really said that. I'm not making this up. Something this ridiculous really happened. And the audacity of it. It has bigger impact. Even now people hate them after season 8 to show they were always doing this. If I say it in my voice, it doesn't have as much impact. If I'm criticizing someone. If I'm just saying, oh, this is a nice detail Ryan Condal thought up in an interview, I don't need to use an audio clip for that. I can just read it off. So that's where we stand now. This has been 4 months. It really hurt my channel, but it's over now. I'm half an hour into this. Sorry, I'm recording this all in one sitting. Monetization has been turned back on. And this couldn't daunt me. I didn't give up. I managed to hold on to everything through tenacity. And it's not about the money. It's about that it boosts you in the algorithm. It's weird when you see people actually going, I'm hoping to do YouTube as a job. If you have literally 1 million subscribers, you might consider doing that. But at the scale we work at, anything short of 1 million subscribers, that's ridiculous. It's like you're not going to be able to support yourself, much less a family, off of, well, this is my only source of income. It's never going to be enough. So I said all this in my first video when this happened. I said, I've probably lost like $1,000 worth of ad revenue from not having ads turned on the past 3 months during the off-season when filming was mostly done already. But it's not about the money, and even if it was, it's dropped in the bucket. What hurt is it hurt me in the algorithm, hurt my view count, because I didn't make this to make money, I made this to spread my message. That if I could take the money I have from YouTube ad revenue and pump it into, I don't know, pump money in to boost yourself in the algorithm, promote your own video, I would do that if it was easy. But I said, like, it is just an update to the end of the last video. I said, in the 6 years of doing this, I have like $16,000 in escrow. Because I never downloaded it because it wasn't worth downloading. Because if I downloaded it, I have to pay taxes on it. And I'm at the opposite of a sweet spot. It would be just enough to disqualify me for healthcare, but not enough to really be money worth having. $16,000 isn't a lot. It's just enough to get you off of healthcare if you don't have it already, the free healthcare thing, Obamacare and everything. So I just said, and I'm not doing it for the money, so I never set it up to download it, ever. Since I started my channel in 2017, I just never downloaded any of the money. Good news is, my new job likes me enough that they've renewed me into next semester, and they've qualified me for healthcare now. So, on top of everything, not only have I got my channel remonetized, for the first time ever, I'm actually going to download my YouTube money. And not just like, oh, from the past month, it's all the money I've ever earned, which is about $16,000. Which I just haven't, I never needed to. I haven't, it wouldn't have made a difference, so I never touched it and ignored it since 2017. So I guess I'm going to use that as my new war chest to fund my fandom activities. I don't know if there's any get togethers that people need. Uh, the convention scene is all shot because of pandemic fears, so, and rightly so. Last New York Comic Con, everyone I know who went there, I didn't, ultimately got COVID, so I don't know when things are going to pick up again, but I guess I'll use that to boost if there's ever someone trying to set up panels again. From the local cons have all been devastated from pandemic stuff. But we'll see what I can do with that. But it's not about the money, it's about the algorithm. And at some point next weekend or weekend after that, I'm going to hold a live stream. I rarely do that. So if anyone wants to give me, I know anyone, just the 5 of you who might do this, I might hold a super chat. That if you, it turns out that when you donate like $10 or $20 in a live stream super chat, yeah, that boosts you in the algorithm, because if you're making money, YouTube takes like half of that for themselves, and because they want to make money, they'll boost you in the algorithm. So I'm probably this weekend or next weekend going to hold a live stream, which I rarely do, as it's a begathon like PBS of please donate money to help fix and restore my position in the YouTube algorithm. I haven't been monetized for 3 months. I've probably been going down in the ranking. That if you donate like $10 or something, if like 100 of you donate $10 or whatever, it'll boost me back in the algorithm and repair my standing in it to where I was. The money itself is meaningless. To me. It's not giving me money, it's spend money to fix me in the algorithm. I'm not even actively playing that. It just, I'll give you advanced warning of, here's the live stream begathon to restore me in the algorithm with donations or something. I think, but I have this in place. We now know why they were upset about the potentially auto-generated content. This mostly happened in the off-season because filming was wrapping by September. And we are now, I missed the beginning of the first teaser, but by the full trailer coming out, I don't know, in a few weeks, I will now have a monetized channel and be up to speed on this. But just mentally, I feel like I'm in the saddle again. And I know that's stupid. It's not about, like, you get as much money as, like, a candy bar from these things. You don't get money from this. But it's still seeing that you get the sense that it's boosting you in the algorithm when you see, and this video generated, I usually generated $100 a week on a good week in the off-season. But it gave you that sense of, my viewership is trending and increasing. It made you feel productive, where it's like, why would I be dumping out a ton of content this past November when it would not have improved my algorithm standing? Now it will. So now I'm going to be really trying to get out good content, and a lot of content, because the more you make, the more you do, and the better it is, the more you do in the algorithm. So there's still a lot of work to go through. I didn't get through any of my long-term projects this year through a string of disasters, one after another, be it sickness or work or other things. I barely managed to keep pace with all the filming news. Which is good, because a lot of channels I noticed just came back for the teaser who had not been paying attention since last November, 2022. And like, guys, we have spy photos of all of this, where were you? Like, there's a few other channels who were paying attention to this. A lot of them weren't. Even, like, relatively big fandom things, just, well, they're spy photos. Well, we know when the season ends. We know, like, Dayron and Nettles aren't in it. Other things that they're just making assumptions on. So, yes, there is payoff to the fact that I was doing nothing but filming news. That I don't have to waste time catching up. If anything, I was one of the ones leading the wave on that. If we know from all the filming leaks what's happening, which will culminate when I'll close out by saying, yes, I am working on a season 2 episode by episode outline video. I guess I'm aiming to get that out in 2 weeks for the upcoming 3-day weekend in the United States. But as opposed to when I was saying, oh, maybe I'll race it out audio only or with text only, this late, I'm going to take my time to put good imagery in it so more people watch it. On top of that, right after the teaser, I honestly thought more people would be able to get outline videos out, and few are even trying, and the literally one or two channels who've tried to guess season outlines who weren't paying attention or clickbaiters are really bad at it, and because they were not paying attention. So I hope this is the definitive. For YouTube, this is everything the spy, not just me, the spy community, but they're mostly on Twitter and Discord and everything. This is everything we know about what's coming in Season 2, episode by episode. I'm working on that. I'm reinvigorated and remoralized. Morale is high again to get that done now that I'm remonetized. That my channel is turned on again. So I'm going to work on that, and then, dear God, I'll be done with current news for the first time since the Season 1 finale. And then I can spend the rest of January to February actually catching up on all that backlog Season 1 interview stuff. That'll be fun. But that's all plans for the future. For right now, it's my channel is back. If you thought I was exhausted after covering all that filming news, and then we were just tired from October, November, because there was Dunk and Egg stuff. The only way I was able to get that Dunk and Egg series done is I basically made it in April and was about to post it, then the strike happened. I've explained this. It was a backlog of content, which I'd been sitting on. But if I didn't already have those, they were saved videos. I really was not in a position to make new stuff in November. But I dumped them because, well, there's Dunk and Egg casting news. My channel is remonetized. We have turned a corner. Expect a lot more content.